Hi, my name is Cheryl. Today I'm going to talk to you about my experience going into the military. I almost was denied entry at the MEPS station. And if you don't know what MEPS stands for, it's the Military Entrance Processing Station. And military has tons and tons of acronyms. So if I use some without clarifying what they are, I apologize. Anyway, this was back in 1980 that I wanted to go into the military. But before I start talking about that and how and why I was almost denied, I want to give you a little backstory. First of all, my father was in the Air Force himself. He went in the 50s sometime. I was born in 1959, and I know that he was already in. And so you're going to see a picture of that on the screen right now of me and him. And so I grew up in a military family, and I got used to the life of moving and going different places, meeting different people, experiencing different cultures and such. So when I graduated high school in 1978, a long time ago, I know, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I really wanted to go to college, but I didn't know how to do that. I did not come from a lot of money. We were borderline poor, if you ask me. But I mean, I never wanted for anything. I always had food on the table and things. I never had to worry about that stuff. But looking back on it, I know that we really didn't come from a lot of money. So college really wasn't an option for me. I didn't know how to get secure funds for school. So I started looking at going into the military. So I took the ASVAB test, which is for all branches of the military, and I passed. My initial idea was to go in the Marines. I was a little reluctant though. I had a friend that was in the Marines, and she said the first day that she went in, she had to run like a mile and a half with a backpack full of uniforms, and she almost didn't make it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do that. If that's something I'm going to have to do in training, boot camp, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that. So I went back to my Marine recruiter because I had not signed any contract with him at all. And I asked him if my ASVAB scores were still good. And he said, yeah. And he was real excited about that. And I said, well, I would like to take them to the Air Force. So he was a little disappointed, and I'm probably lucky to leave his office alive because I don't think he was happy at all. So anyway, I went down to the Air Force because my dad was in the Air Force, and he seemed to have a really good career. He was a B-52 tail gunner when they had the B-52 gunners in the tail of the plane. It's different now. Anyway, so I go to the recruiter's office, and right away they said, yeah, we want you, and you can sign up for this, and this, and if you really want to do this, we can almost guarantee it. Well, that's not true. They can't guarantee anything when you come in an open job. If you secure a job, that's one thing, but if you come in open, you're not going to get what you want. So, but I did go in. I signed up delayed entry program, which meant I waited a period of time before they actually let me come in. But this is where I almost got denied military because they told me I didn't weigh enough. I think I weighed 98 pounds and I needed to weigh 100 or 101. I don't know exactly. I was 2 or 3 pounds underweight. So my plan for gaining weight was to go home and eat tons of bananas because I had read that bananas help you gain weight. So that's what I did. I ate bananas all the time. I was sick of bananas. All the way up to the MEPS station, the processing station, because I knew if I passed the weight, I would be on a plane that evening. Because, that's how quick it is. Once you go to that station, you get on a plane and you're headed to San Antonio to basic training. So I was like all excited. My bags were packed, everything. And I'm in the car going to Boston. That's because I was from Massachusetts. And I'm eating banana after banana. I was so tired of eating bananas. But that was my plan, was to eat as many bananas as possible. I'm going to attach a picture somewhere along the line to show you what I looked like when I first went in the military. So you can see what what my stature was. So they said you have to gain this weight before you come in. And what's going to happen is when you go to the MEP station, remember that's the military entrance processing station. When you go there, they're going to weigh you, and if you don't weigh, I don't know if it was 102 or 103. I think I had to gain 2 pounds. So I said, okay, I mean, I'll work on that and, get myself ready to go. And, my entry date was the 22nd of January, 1980. And I was 20 years old when I went in. And so I get there and I'm really nervous because, I mean, they check everything. They check your eyes, your hearing, everything before you go, before you actually are accepted to go in and leave. Well, the last or close to the last thing is they had to weigh me. I didn't weigh enough. I still didn't weigh enough. And I thought it was over. I wasn't going to get in. Well, it turns out the Air Force let me in because they have this thing called a waiver. And I had no clue. I was really upset because I thought, what am I going to do with my life? I mean, I didn't have college as an option. So upset. But I made it in. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my first day in basic training in the next video. So if you like this video, I hope to see you in the next one. If you have any comments for me, I would love to hear them. Maybe you're a military member. I am a veteran, and I will talk to you about the number of years I served and in what job I did and those kinds of things, and as the time goes on. So I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.